felt like going to the gym lately, and it's too cold to run outside.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that with me. How about, you haven't talked about your family yet, I'm just wondering, so currently you're living with your husband. Are you guys living around here?
Yeah, we live just in one of the suburbs, just west of the city. It's right by my husband's med school. So that's where we live. It's just the two of us. We're in an apartment that's split into houses. So we're really close with our landlady and her daughter and one other couple. We're kind of close with, not that much, but we'll hang out with them occasionally.
Good. I meant to say, does your family live around you? Are they close by?
My family's in Utah and Idaho, and my mom's in Hawaii. But they all live out there, and then my husband's family, he's an only child, but his parents live in Florida. So we're kind of equal distance from both of our families, which is really tough. It's been really tough with vacations. I really miss seeing my family. I'm really close to my family. I'm not as close with my mom. She is kind of more sporadic. And she lives in Hawaii, so we don't really have money to go out there. And my husband hasn't even gone to my family for over 2.5 years. So we always kind of have to choose, like, his family or my family for breaks, and we only really get Christmas break. Because none of our other breaks are aligned. So we usually go to Florida.
Choose the warm spot.
Yeah.
So are you able to communicate with your family during the week?
Yeah. My dad always tries to call me about once a week. Sometimes it's frustrating. He'll always tell me that I need to call my grandma, or that I need to call, like this and this person, and it'll always be like the night before I have 2 papers due or an exam, and I'll tell my dad, like, Dad, I can't talk right now, I've got a paper due, and he's just like, no, you gotta call your grandma, it's Mother's Day, it's her birthday, like, it's always something, and he just doesn't understand. Neither of my parents went to college. I'm the only one in my family, so they don't usually understand, like, the whole concept of studying. They're used to, like, weekends are weekends. Why are you working? So
they don't get your perspective on it.
Yeah, so it's really tough that way.
I see.
But I mean, I'll talk to him. I've tried to, talk to him more about, like, the stress that I'm under and stuff like that. It's really tough too. So I usually just try to, like, say everything's fine and good.
How about brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have an older brother and an older sister and then a younger brother. I talk to my older sister a lot. But again, it's hard, like, expressing to her, like, what I'm feeling. And she kind of is someone that calls while she's driving, and then once she gets to her destination, hangs up. So it's kind of like her time to talk and not really yours. And I think she thinks because, I'm in school for counseling that I should listen to her and solve her problems. So it's kind of
adding a little bit more to what you already have on your plate.
Right.
Listening to some other people's issues. Well, alright, let's see. So I just want to go back to kind of how you're coping with different things and stresses you under with school and different duties you have at home and relationships you have. Do you drink at all? Have you used any substances to?
No, I've never drank or smoked or used any.
How about in your family? Is there a history of substance use?
My grandpa's an alcoholic. My mom uses different kinds of drugs. My little brother has, I would say, some drug problems, like the fact that he got a DUI, and he's 22. So I would say he has some problems. So there's some. I think that's why I never drink. Just I think that sometimes alcoholism runs in the family.
Sure. I agree with that. That's great. And so, you mentioned, I want to go back to, you mentioned the feeling you have when you get your test back, or somebody says something to you that you don't like. You said you have this neck, and you don't have to explain it to me then, but you feel a little sick. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I just feel really nauseous. Like, I just, like, my stomach is just tied up in knots. And I just want to, like, crawl into a corner, disappear, or just, like, mostly disappear.
Sure.
And then the worst part about it is I just keep thinking over and over and over in my head, like, oh, you're such an idiot, why did you do that? You failed, oh, this is going to be the worst test. Now the person's never going to write a letter of recommendation for you, or, just like all of these like really negative thoughts, and I just get really sick feeling. So it's really tough, because it doesn't go away for a long time. Like, sometimes it'll go away, like, once I get the paper back, and it's like, okay, I did okay. I'm okay. But then it's like, the next round, I turn a paper, and in that whole next week, like, I'll even replay, like, my whole paper in my head.
So you kind of know that it's coming, since you felt it. You said you've been feeling this since about February? Okay. And so once you get the paper back, you feel like that sickness feeling leaves you?
Yeah, it goes away.
Pretty immediately, or does it take some time?
Pretty immediately. But then, like, immediately after, something else will happen. Like, I'll say something, and maybe someone overheard it. Maybe it was, like, inappropriate or kind of rude. And then the whole process starts again. And then that continues until, like, a week or 2 weeks, until something else kind of takes it away. So there's never, like, that time without that sick feeling. It just kind of transfers to all of it.
So, do you think, do you find yourself, worrying a lot about things? Do you feel like that's connected to the feeling that you feel?
Yeah, but I don't worry about everything. It's more like, I just worry about mostly grades. I worry most about, like, how other people view me, but it also depends on the person. Like, I worry more about, like, sometimes people I don't even know that well. Like, I don't really, well, I guess I do, but I don't really care as much, like, my husband, or, like, some close friends, but, like professors and supervisors, I care a lot about what they think about me.
So